Hi, I am Mustafa. Before getting started with my teammates, I want to share an overview of this project. In the previous deliverables, I have talked about the classes and the overall working of the project, but I will quickly talk about them again. This project consists of 4 general classes. The first one is Sponge Class. This Sponge Class will control the SpongeBob character by the player. And the next one is Jelly Class. This Jelly Class controls the character of jellyfish inside the game, like formation and movement automatically. Another one is Window Class. This Window Class will only have one function that create a specific window for the game via BGI library. And finally is Game Class. This class is the most important class inside the game that control the entire game, such as catching jellyfishes and raising your levels. This game finds itself in an environment similar to that of SpongeBob SquarePants cartoon. Inside the game, SpongeBob tries to catch the jellies. So by catching the jellies, you will increase the number of jellies that you catch it, and this makes you to increase your level inside the game. While we have another character named Plankton. This Plankton tries to stop you by stealing your jellies, and this make the game more heavier when your level will be increased. And we must point out that the game is unlimited game. However, I've done the most work of this project, such as project idea, analyzing and configuration of code, and designing the game. And my teammates just helped me implement the codes as assistant. Let's start with our project folder. This is our project folder that contains some file and a folder. Let's start with this file. This one is named game.cpp. This is the main file, or we can say this is our important file that most of the code is written in this file that named game.cpp. Also in here we have game computations.hpp. This is the file header of the game.cpp that contains the prototype of methods and classes. As we can see in here, game computations.hpp, we have prototypes of methods and classes inside game computations.hpp. Also in here, as we said, this is our main code. Also we have a folder in here. This folder contains some images that this image is used by the main this game.cpp. Okay, like our SpongeBob character, our jellyfish plankton characters that used by this file named game.cpp. Let us just open our game.cpp file. Inside game.cpp, in the beginning we have just called some libraries, like this is iOS stream, also this is graphics.h, and that this is our BGI library in here. Also we call it time library, studio and string, and also game computations, that is our prototypes that we write it in here. And then we have some general variables in here, like level, that's our level inside the game that be increased and decreased, and this variable that have integer type that store the catched jellyfishes by the SpongeBob inside the game. Also we have lost jellyfishes and live image SpongeBob, and image of jellyfish and jellyfish speed in here, that we use it by the classes in the bottom of the code. Next we have a method named RDM. This means random, that we just that we have only 2 parameters when we send min and max number for our RDM function. It will return as a random number between this min and max number. For example, when you just send 1 and 5, maybe return 3 for us. And this one is used by the classes for getting a random integer, for maybe getting random locations for SpongeBob and jellyfishes. Also in here we have class window. This class window, we just have a draw window method in here that we write it some code inside this draw window, inside class window, to just create the special window for the game via BGI library. For instance, we have init graph and init window to just set the width and height for the window, also the title and the location is, and set color for just fill the text's colors to black and set bg color to 15. It means white background for the window, and then an instance. And also we have a friend class game to let the game class to easily access window class.
Hello, my name is Dlnya Noori, and now I discuss my part in our project SpongBob. SpongBob character this class will control a SpongBob character by the player, and SpongBob class inside private section. This to private variable will store it and change sponge location inside the window. And we have constructor here to set a default location for SpongBob, and in void draw. In this draw function, we draw the SpongBob character by importing SpongBob image file that's stored in the path folder, and this in their void move. This move function used to move SpongBob character by detecting keyboard array key to move sponge up and down, and in their case, if key up 72 preset, increase Y, and in case 80, if key down 80 preset, decrease Y, and after that and the final we used friend class to let start class to access this sponge class. Thank you so much.
Hello, my name is Matin Khaled. I'm gonna to talk about the second class. It names Jelly class. In Jelly class, we have private and public. In a private, we have integer width, integer jelly x, and integer jelly y. And in a public, which are tasked to generate and draw a random jellies with a random y. And it's a friend class game, which also let's start the class to access these jelly classes.
Hello and welcome everyone. My name is Ibrahim Ahmed, and today I'm here to present my part and what I've worked on in the game project of PT2, which is the fourth significant class of the whole project. The class keyword I used to name my class, to name and create my class, is game window, which mainly consists of public access specifiers, which also in turn specifies that members, which in another word, attributes and methods of the class are accessible from outside the class. There are two ways to define function that belongs to our class, which are inside class definition and outside class definition. You access methods just like you access attributes by creating an object of the class and using the dot syntax. Then we created objects for both sponge and jelly in here to control them. We also call this function to draw and create window, the window with BGI, then to begin the game. These are also some default stuff and things on window. Then we needed to make a loop to repeat a block of code without having to repeatedly type it out. Loops help keep code more concise and make it more readable. The while loop is a type of loop that will first evaluate a condition. If the condition is true, the program will run the code inside of the while, which we used and needed to use loop, which was in turn exactly what we needed. Then we used if to specify a block of code I just mentioned, because we needed that to be executed. If a specified condition is true, we bring up else to specify the said block of code to be executed. If the same condition is false, then we used else if to specify a new condition to test. If the first condition is false, to test if the first condition is false. And here it shows this here's job is to show the jellyfishes and level in the bottom of the window. And these ifs is to make leveling harder of the game. For example, in these types of games, the further you go, the harder it gets. For example, the obstacle increases, the speed increases, the jellyfish increases, all those stuff. All this is about that. And we also, this is a delay. We also set and fixed the delay of sponge running to 0. So yeah, this was my part of the project. Thank you very much for listening, and I will let my groupmate take it from here.
Finally, this is the end of the code. But before execute the game, inside this integer main, we just have a couple of codes in here. This couple of codes is used for maximize the console window. It means when I run the game, when I execute the game, the console window will be shown in maximized size. Next, in here we just have some design codes. Let's just execute the game. So this is the game, and the console window will maximize it immediately because of the couple of the codes. Let's start the game. That's the game. The game will execute it and run it immediately because there's not a splash screen and something like that. So I can control the SpongBob, this character, by the keyboard key down and up. You can control the SpongBob character, and when you catch the jellyfishes, what will be happening? The number of jellyfishes will be increased, and if you look, this progress bar will be like that, will be increased when it gets a max number. Your level will be increased by 1.